If someone is a musician and they are not well known and they're just starting out, what would you suggest that they do so that they become ready to work with someone like you?
I think, what I mentioned before would really apply, and that's sit down and really come up with a plan. Over the next 12 months, what do I want to do? Do I want to release a single every month, or maybe it's a couple singles leading up to an EP? And then actually execute that. And, at the same time, be consistent. You want to be an artist that puts out a few tracks and then, goes away for about 4 years and tries to come back and do it again, because you're going to have to really start over. I mean, there's just too much out there, to consume that, you're going to lose a lot of your fan base with if you don't engage with them. You have to consistently engage with your fan base, consistently release music, and devise a plan, like I said, for each of the platforms, so you can gauge and analyze exactly what's working, what's not, so the next time you put something out, you know what to do.
So, when someone is with Intercept Music, are there particular marketing tools that are available to them when they're working with you?
Absolutely. Even within their dashboard, there's just so many tools that you can utilize to help you promote your releases. We actually have a merch integration within our dashboard. We have a integration with Shopify. So any release you put out, you want to create some merch for it, a t-shirt, a hat, whatever, all that could be done within the dashboard, and that's available for your fans to obviously utilize and purchase any items that they so choose. We also have AI integrated into our dashboard as far as a marketing tool. So
I
say
was
you
going
don't,
to ask you. Yeah.
yeah. So say you don't have a publicist, but you need a press release or a bio or even some messaging for social media posts. All that can be generated within the dashboard as well. So it's very helpful to our clients. Same thing with advertising. You can book advertising within the dashboard, whether it's digital, whether it's outdoor, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. Spotify playlist promotion, same thing. We have that available as well as a service. So all these tools and services, and we're actually building more as well. So in the next year or two, I think we'll have a full suite for our artists and labels to choose from, which is amazing.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's definitely something that's needed. And on the AI front, I'm curious about how you're feeling with about that for your artists, because there are a lot of programs out there now that can just like press a button and create a piece of music.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not going to be human made and there's a difference, but what is that doing to the music industry right now, do you think?
It's definitely a hot topic. And, at Intercept, we definitely support AI when it comes to a marketing tool. Content creation, not so much, because we really support human made content that has some soul put behind it, actual human behind it. But yeah, and that's tough because when you do content creation on the AI side, that also leads to fraudulent activity, at the different platforms, which is a huge problem. So, there are actually tools out there that the Spotify's and the Deezers of the world used to kind of sift and find out what's actually human made, what's actually AI created, and they'll take down that AI content. But it's a huge topic, and I don't think going
Interesting.
away anytime soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about those tools that they're using. Have you had any experience with them directly, or you're just
I
hearing
haven't
about it?
Yeah, I've definitely heard and read about it. I haven't experienced it personally, but I was definitely shocked to hear that I think out of all the AI content that's out there, 70% of it has some type of fraudulent activity, whether it's bots creating streams or yeah, so that's definitely alarming for sure. It's a really high
Very much
number.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I mean, being an actual human artist these days is even more difficult than I imagined.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you don't need to be competing with the robots.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Mhm.
So, if someone is a musician and they are not well known and they're just starting out, what would you suggest that they do so that they become ready to work with someone like you?
I think, what I mentioned before would really apply, and that's sit down and really come up with a plan. Over the next 12 months, what do I want to do? Do I want to release a single every month, or maybe it's a couple singles leading up to an EP? And then actually execute that. And, at the same time, be consistent. You want to be an artist that puts out a few tracks and then, goes away for about 4 years and tries to come back and do it again, because you're going to have to really start over. I mean, there's just too much out there, to consume that, you're gonna lose a lot of your fan base with if you don't engage with them. You have to consistently engage with your fan base, consistently release music, and devise a plan, like I said, for each of the platforms so you can gauge and analyze exactly what's working, what's not. So the next time you put something out, you know what to do.
Do you have any like regular things that you do with each of the platforms for artists? Is there like a particular release schedule that you think works best, or a length of the track, or this kind of thing? Can you speak to that?
To be honest, not really. I mean, each deal that we have, each partner is a little different. It's they have 100% creative control. If you come to Intercept Music, we're not going to own your masters. We're not going to tell you what to release, what not to release. However, at the same time, we will be able to provide suggestions, especially on the marketing side, especially when it comes to dealing with the commercial DSPs, because we want to make sure that you're given the opportunity to, present what you're releasing with enough lead time to really make an impact. So if you're an artist, you complete a track, we don't advise that you upload it, that Friday and release it, in the next few days because you're missing out on opportunities. You want to make sure you get a chance to, submit it for release radar on Spotify or different programs. You want to be able to have the editors at each of these platforms at least know that it's coming out and listen to it before it comes out, because that happens like 3 or 4 weeks before release date. So therefore, you want to have our labels and artists upload their content maybe 4 to 5 weeks before release date. So they have the opportunity to take advantage of all the tools that these DSPs provide.
Yeah, yeah. And you help them with PR and getting the news out there that it's coming. So, how does that work exactly? I'm curious because like when it comes to Spotify, if you've uploaded it,
Mhm.
do you just not make it public until there's a debut time, or how does that work?
Yeah, so anytime you upload content and deliver it to the digital service providers, you set a release date, and it doesn't go live to the public until that release date. However, it is in their system, so you have access to, like, the link and all that stuff. So you can set up, a hyperlink to, share, to get pre-saves, and just try and get as many eyeballs on the project, so you can actually get some type of traction and know how many fans are anticipating your release. And maybe, on Spotify, you have, 100,000 pre-saves. So if that's the case, then you say, okay, you know what? I can go to Apple, I can go to YouTube and Tidal and Amazon and say, hey, look, on Spotify, we have X amount of pre-saves. What can we do with your platform to help it get to that level as well?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, it
There's a
sounds
ton
like.
of it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why lead
So
time is essential for sure.
that
Yep.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I didn't even realize. I was thinking, oh, well, they just upload it and then it appears, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I should have known better because I do stuff on YouTube as well, which is
Looking
where this will be eventually. But, and they allow you to preview stuff and to just upload it and not make it public. And yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. I didn't realize that there were a lot of other options.
Yeah, there's a whole
So,
form that we
yeah.
have our clients fill out that includes like an elevator pitch. What playlists you suggest that this be pitched for. Any type of like marketing activations that you want to let them know about. All that kind of stuff they want to make sure that's on their radar.
Yeah. Do you help them figure that out?
We do. We definitely make suggestions and help out with the process.
So, is there something that Intercept does that most people don't notice, maybe, that makes you stand out a little?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we distribute music like a lot of other companies out there do. Um, we're definitely on the forefront of technology because I think our dashboard is second to none as far as the services and tools they provide. And I think what separates us from the rest is really our best in class customer service. A lot of these companies, you have a hard time getting a response back via email or just getting a call back. And that's not the case at a company like Intercept. We're actively engaged with our clients. We talk to them all the time. We set up weekly calls if need be, especially if they have a really, rigorous release schedule. And we want to make sure we're engaged. There's everything's transparent. There's no issues whatsoever. Whether it's good or bad news, we want to make sure we're fully engaged and helping them grow their business.
Sure. Yeah. Do you help artists get into advertising or get sync licensing or anything like that?
I'm glad you brought that up because sync licensing is definitely on the roadmap. It's something that we're going to be offering in the next few months. But we do offer sync on a non-exclusive basis, so we only eat what we kill. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, there's just a bunch of things that are, on our roadmap, that are really gonna help us take it to the next level as well.
Sure. Yeah. I'm curious as to what's coming in the pipeline because I know that sync
Yeah.
licensing can be a really big thing.
Hi, this is Michael Dargy, author of Brand Jitsu. Move your brand from meh to memorable. And you're listening to the Audio Branding Podcast, a great place to learn about how powerful sound can be. If you want to understand how to harness that power in your own life, keep listening.
I'm curious, actually, do you have any artists that use AI that are like, I mean, human made, but
hmm
they're using AI tools to create their music?
Not to create music. We've had a handful use it to create like artwork for like their single or album, but not for the
Okay.
content music creation. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough call because I think
hmm
it's going to get to a point. I mean, we have sampled music all over the place, right? So
Right.
it's going to get to a point, I think, where it's going to be hard to tell the difference. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. I think as long as there is some human creativity in there and you're not just pressing a button,
hmm
I think it's all creativity. It's using the tools that are out there for you to use.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know where that goes.
I know, right? That's a big question.
Yeah, yeah. So talking about sound, do you what would you advise people who are wanting to be musicians about like how much they pay attention to their sound? Because I mean, it must be really hard to be different these days,
hmm
right?
Yeah.
So how do you stand out in all this noise? Because it's only getting worse. And I'm not saying that the music is bad. I'm saying that
hmm
there's like a lot of people, like we were just saying, pressing a button and creating music and then just putting it out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you differentiate yourself in that kind of an environment?
That's a great question. I think a big part of it is what we were talking about earlier with the live performance and being able to perform and generate uh super fans, people that'll actually do more than just stream your music or add it to a playlist. They're gonna buy, a limited edition type of merch that you create, or they're gonna go to your shows, or maybe even follow you around, your tour, that type of thing. That's what I think really separates the casual fan to a super fan is having those people that are gonna be there. And obviously, talent is a priority. You gotta have talent if you're an artist nowadays. I think that's always been the case since day one. Making music that is timeless, making music that is undeniable, something that resonates and evokes emotion within your fan base, because that's what's going to keep you in this for the long run, in my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I guess that being able to perform it live is really the
hmm
litmus test, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they're going to see it right there on the
Mhm.
stage. You can't make it up.
That's right.
I mean, maybe unless you're Milli Vanilli. I mean,
Now that was an interesting story. I watched a
yeah.
documentary the other day on that. Yeah,
Did you?
crazy. I did crazy story. Yeah, I never knew. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
hmm
There's so
Yeah.
much that could be said, but that I will not say.
hmm
Yeah. So, are there particular tech trends that you're really interested in right now when it comes to music?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's really tech related, but I just think that cross-pollination of just different genres when it comes to music is always entertaining because you see it all the time. And now, especially when it comes to like urban music, it's really Afro beats and mixing it with, hip hop and R&B. And even on the Latin side, they're using Afro beats type of production. So, I mean, just there's always some new type of uh, mixing of the genres that creates a new sound or new song that becomes the trend of the time. So I think that's always going to continue. And then like we've been discussing this whole time is AI and what role they play. That's always going to be a trend topic as well when it comes to tech.
Sure. Yeah. What do you listen to personally that you really enjoy?
It changes as I've gotten older. Like for now, I've been listening to like a lot of jazz in the morning, and I never used to listen to jazz. And I used to play jazz when I was in high school in a jazz band, but until like 4 or 5 years ago, every morning I tell my Amazon Echo, play jazz for reading, and they play like all these songs that are kind of soothing and peaceful and help me get ready for the morning and get ready for the day of meetings and calls and emails. And so I've been listening to a lot of jazz, but historically I pretty much listen to everything. Obviously a lot of rock, alternative, hip hop, R&B, some Latin, and then yeah, and jazz.
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
especially the non-vocal stuff, because then you
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
really, yeah, it's almost like an environment.
Mhm.
I get it. Yeah, and it's very calming. You're right. Yeah. Kind
Mhm.
of like that cafe vibe.
Yeah.
Like you're listening to it in a coffee shop or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm going to get a little philosophical here with you, and I'm going to ask you why you think sound is important. Because I think a lot of us take it for granted,
Mhm.
and we're on a podcast that talks about the power of sound.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on that.
I think it's important because, in my opinion, it's the soundtrack of our life. There are different points and moments in your life where when you hear a song, you know what you were doing when you first heard it, or it brings memories of this person you were dating at the time, or where you were, or who your friends were. Like it's just always gonna be there for me. So, it's for me, it's the soundtrack of my life. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And it's very true that the music that we listen to, the sounds that we hear can bring us right back to the time we first heard them.
That's right.
And I'm sure from that concert that you saw, that you heard very early on, if you heard any of those songs, it would bring you right back there.
That's right.
Yeah. So what are you working on right now that you
So
can
right.
talk about?
Yeah, no, yeah, right now, I mean, we're working on a lot of things within the company, obviously bringing sync and licensing on board, looking at potential publishing partner as well, so we can start doing publishing deals. We have also started doing catalog acquisition deals, so any type of buyout. So if there's an artist out there that has a mature catalog that, not necessarily wants to, be involved with the day-to-day and are willing to sell their rights, even, in perpetuity or even for a select amount of time, maybe 10 years, we're open to those type of deals. So we really can customize our deals to what the client is looking for. So those are all like main things that we're really working on, and then obviously looking for new deal opportunities, whether it's an artist or independent label.
And how can people get in touch with you if they'd like to do that?
Yeah, they can hit us up on our website, which is interceptmusic.com. They can reach out to us on Instagram. Our IG handle is at Intercept Music Official, or they can even send me an email directly. I'm at jesse.flores@interceptmusic.com.
Wonderful. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience with, anyone listening here who is a musician and just wants to get started? Is there anything else that you want to tell them?
Yeah, I would say be patient and be resilient. This industry is definitely super competitive and things don't happen overnight. You're definitely going to go through your highs and lows. And I'm a testament to that because there's been times where I've had lows. I've been laid off a couple times, but I just had to get back up and, look for the next best thing. So stick with it, be consistent with your releases and help devise a plan and also develop that team around you that's going to help you take to the next level.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Jesse. I appreciate your being here.
Thank you,
This is
Jody.
great information. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. And if you like what you heard, why not tell a friend about this podcast? It's available in all the usual locations. Until next time.